Okay, so we're going to be doing a research project today. Basically 2 steps here. The first step is to do your research. Because y'all are at home and I'm not around to help you, I try to keep it very simple. So in the folder, and actually I changed this, I was supposed to delete that. I did delete them. Can't see my screen. Okay, that would help. Let me go in there and delete that real quick. I deleted it to actually almost accidentally delete the wrong thing. Delete. I have extra directions I don't need in here anymore, so I have to change things, which should help out a lot. So get rid of that. Okay, so you get into your research project. On the first screen, I gave you 2 websites. This is the main website you're going to be using. It's types of energy. And when you get into it, you have non-renewable and renewable resources. Here's your 4 non-renewable resources you can choose from. And here's 5 renewable resources to choose from. So you're going to either choose one non-renewable or one renewable. You only have to do one resource. Normally you would be doing a lot more than that, but again, I scaled this back quite a bit. So you're going to go and do some research on these. And then also I provided you with a link to percent of use. So if you go here, it shows you how much of each is being used. Talking about fossil fuels and non-renewables, this is how much society, actually U.S., this is how much the U.S. currently uses of non-renewables, and this is how much renewables make up, a very, very small percent. That's only 11%. So to get from 11% to 100% of our needs is going to pose some challenges. So anyways, that link is in there, so that way you can research the percent of use. Okay, and so there's your links, and then you get here and you're going to put your name. You're going to put the name of your energy resource. Is it renewable or non-renewable? The percent of use, which you get from that second link I just showed you. And then tell me how is it used. Just to let you know, many resources, I'll tell you, all energy resources have multiple uses. For example, petroleum, we don't just use it to drive cars. We use it to build computers. We use it to heat homes. We use it to, there's all types of uses for petroleum other than driving cars. So try to find all the different types of uses. Then tell me some advantages and disadvantages. What will not get you any points on this is tell me renewable or non-renewable. I had a student do that first period, and he said he was done with this project because he told me an advantage and disadvantage, which was basically, well, it's renewable or non-renewable. That took him a whole 30 seconds. So I'd like to see a little bit more thought in this. So do not tell me renewable or non-renewable as an advantage or disadvantage. Go and find some of the good things about it and some of the bad things about it, other than renewable and non-renewable. And then on the next screen here, you're going to add pictures that help represent your resource. You could add a screen if you wanted to. So, you just add a screen if need be. Oops, I don't want to do that. Okay, so add pictures that help represent your resource, and also add pictures that show advantages and disadvantages of your energy resource. Please make sure it pertains to your resource, okay? For example, another student put the recycling sign in there, like, the little arrows that go in a circle. Okay, well, that's pretty, but it has nothing to do with your resource. So make sure that somehow you can explain how that picture relates to your resource and how they relate to advantages and disadvantages. And then, for extra credit, add extra facts that you think are important. So this is for the students who like to make A pluses. So, you always want to make 100. Well, this is how you make 100. It should be information that you do not have up here. And just to let you know, just because you put something in here doesn't mean you'll get extra credit, because I think it needs to go beyond this. All right. So in other words, you're really doing some thinking and some research to find some very interesting things. I always like learning something new. And every year, even though I've been studying science for 20 years, I have students that present information to me that I did not know. All right. Anyways, I had duty this morning and I was turned on YouTube and I just came across just by accident this website of a guy messing around with pendulums. And I learned something that I've been studying physics for years, and I learned some things about pendulums that I never realized. So anyway, some things I'll probably use in the future in class and make some really good labs, stuff students can build. And anyways, with that being said, I always like to learn something new. So if you can teach me something new, that will make you extra credit. Okay, so that's the research part of it. And then what you do next is you go back to Schoology. And actually, I shouldn't have closed that because it's kind of a bad. Let me open that. Leave it open. Okay. Go back to Schoology, and you're going to want to have your two screens open. Here I have directions on how to do a screencast in Flipgrid. This is something I didn't have this morning. It took me a day or two to kind of brainstorm how I was going to do this with y'all not in class, but I wanted to do a class presentation. So remember I said you're going to present this to class, where you're going to present it in Flipgrid. Here I have a technology person from central office who recorded directions on how to do a screencast in Flipgrid. It's pretty simple. It was something I wasn't familiar with, so I had to ask her how to show me. But anyways, it's a lady from central office who does technology, and she will direct you on how to do a screencast in Flipgrid. So basically at this point, you will show your screen and you will just, I would like it if you say your name because we never get to meet each other. So your name of your resource, renewable or non-renewable, basically go through and explain your project to the class. I think you only have, this doesn't have to be long. You only have, I think, 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes in Flipgrid. So something very brief. And then, so here's the directions on how to do that. So then here, you actually go to Flipgrid. And so there's your link to the Flipgrid. So that after you learn how to use it, you come here, you open it up, and actually do the recording. Okay? That's what we're doing. It is due tomorrow. Again, I scaled this back greatly. Normally, this would be a lot longer than this, but you're only doing one resource. Pretty simple, okay? I think you'll probably spend just as much time trying to use the Flipgrid as you will doing the research. So I'm thinking the research you can probably do in about 20, 30 minutes, and then the Flipgrid is probably going to take you another 20 minutes. So you might have to do a little bit for homework as far as just learning how to use a Flipgrid and present to class. If you can't figure out the screencast on Flipgrid, you could also just record your face. And again, if you want to put a smiley face over your face, an emoji, you could do that. But with that being said, go ahead and get started on your research and let me know if you need anything. I'll be here. We have your benchmark the week we get back. So what I'm doing right now is working on your benchmark review. Let me know if you need anything.